I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I would like to introduce my two proxies. The proxy for Amy Rothfuss is Kathleen Maloney here, and the proxy for Jason Chikowitz is Michelle Engel. I would like all of us to stand and do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'd like to approve the minutes, and I'd like to approve all the minutes from 3/4/26, 3/25/26, 4/2/26, 4/27/26, and 5/15. All the board members do have the minutes. Have you had a chance to look them over? Have any questions? Do you have any questions on the minutes?
No questions.
I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to accept the minutes are approved. We are going to work better so we don't have so many minutes at once, but we didn't have any summer meetings, so thank you on that. We have two resolutions that we need voting on today. We're going to vote on the times, the dates, and the voting and absentee, and Kim is going to tell us just a brief statement about that, and we all have that paperwork in front of us.
All right, so for the absentee, can you guys hear me?
Just got to get it close.
So for the absentee locations, we're going to have the Mishawaka Service Building and the County City Building like we always have. The last weekend prior to the election, we would like to add the Harris Library on the northern part of St. Joe County, and then Center Township Library also on the southern part of the county. Just to accommodate the voters, give some additional options in those areas. Outside of that, that's pretty much what we're asking for in the normal hours. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay. So the normal voting hours, they're here on our thing. And also, Chris, on the vote centers, could you go over a little bit on the vote centers?
Yeah, so the vote centers in the primary, if you remember, we did have two vote centers that we did not use for the primary. We are going to be adding those two additional vote centers into the general now, so that'll be part of this as well. So we'll have the 41 total sites now. Warren Elementary School is no longer going to be available, but we'll have all the other sites available for us now for the general. Again, the two that we did not have for the primary, we will be adding those in, which are the Harris Library and the Penn Harris Library out on the north side of town.
Thank you. So on our resolution, that's going to bring us back to our 41 vote centers.
That is
so
correct.
That's correct. So that's our two resolutions. I would entertain a motion to accept the resolutions for the vote centers and the times and the dates.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Resolutions carry. Thank you. Thank you, Kim and Chris. So now Keith would like to talk about RBM, not RBI, because I keep correcting myself, baseball guy. Yeah, I know. So Keith?
Thank you. Keith McGinnis with RBM. I just want to give a couple of updates that we received from the state earlier in the month from a certification standpoint. One of them is we've been talking almost for a little over 2 years now for the retraction process, which means we've come up with a solution In the case of, I hate to say it this way, but it's basically the dead voter rule to be able to retract, but at the same time, being able to continue and count these walk-in absentee ballots faster. This is all done through a function of poll books, and the state just allowed it to happen. We have what we can do, and the first step is we can start opening up ballots 3 days prior to Election Day and lay them out. So anybody, and I know a bunch of people sitting behind me have worked the polls on Election Day and have been in here on the absentee side of it. And you know, especially in a general election, how busy it can be to get all these opened up and set aside. Well, this would work on the walk-in absentees only. We could start opening those up 3 days prior. We can actually start counting once the retraction software is in place. We can't tabulate, we can count, but we cannot get the totals until 6 o'clock on election night. We had one other update as well, and that was on your system, and we will put that through when we start doing the LNA testing with Chris later prior to November election. At this time, as far as a vote on anything, we're not looking for a vote on anything. I just want to make sure everyone knows that it's coming, and if it gets done in time, meaning the retraction, it has to come from the election board on a 3-0 vote to be able to do this. Thank you.
Thanks. I think the election board is going to look at that, and to make it easier, I know people up here have been here on election day, I have, and if we can speed that up now since the law has changed, then we'll work on that resolution, and we'll be bringing it up at another meeting. Thanks.
Hey, John?
Yes.
Can I
Please.
ask Keith something? Okay. Hey, Keith, so what kind of updates are needed? Is it on RBM's side? Is it No Ink side? Like, what kind of a weight? and what would
It comes from the
entail?
poll book side. RBM Unison, our system is already completed for it. It's accepted and certified. There are actually now 3 poll book vendors in the state of Indiana. One of them is exiting at the end of '27. So we are working with a third one right now to allow this to happen. That's what it comes down to.
And that would be the 10X, right? They
Right,
have
we
their
present
stuff
10X over the top,
together.
right.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're pretty cool. Thank you. I just wanted to confirm that.
Thank you. Now we'd like to go to candidates challenge. Excuse me for shuffling my paperwork here. I would like to propose a format on the challenges that the challengers or legal representatives have 5 minutes. Then the election board for questions and answers, and then the candidates will have 5 minutes. Then the election board will have questions and information clarity. Then the challengers will have a 3-minute rebuttal, and each candidate then will have their 3-minute rebuttal. Also that our attorney, Michael Smith, will be doing the timing and help move that along. So that would be my first proposal. Do I have a motion or a second to move?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. I also would like to pertain a motion that we hear Jackie Horvath on the CAN 31 as a group with, against the candidates Dan, on the name pronunciation, Carcino, Ron DeWhite, Christy Dolan, Marcy Hoffman, and Autumn Kaler. So I would pertain that we hear that all in a group since it all is basically the same challenge.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. So Michael, would you swear anybody in or attorneys? And are we going to have any witnesses or just attorneys?
I think probably we need to have Jackie Horvath come up to verify the submissions.
So be it.
Anyone who's going to testify or present facts today, who's not here as an advocate or an attorney, please raise your right hand. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Okay, can you tell the board your name, please?
Jackie Horvath?
You're the Republican Party Chair for St. Joseph County?
Yes, I am.
And did you file these 5 challenges against the candidacies of Christy Donlin, Marcy Kaufman, Dan Caruso, Ron DeWinter, and Autumn Kaler?
I did.
And do all 5 of those challenges pertain to their failure to timely file, what you believe is their failure to timely file their CAN 31 forms?
Correct. And on Autumn's case, the CAN 12.
So in addition to the CAN 31, Ms. Kaler also did not file her CAN 12, is that correct?
Not in a timely fashion, no.
And you've submitted all of this information to the board that's already in front of the board, is that correct?
Yes, I have.
The board has a copy of all the challenges, is that right?
That's correct.
I'm going to refer you to a couple of different statutes. Do you believe that Indiana Code 313-1 indicates that the county chair missed the deadline for the filings by not having the filings done by their last, what was it, their last committee meeting?
That particular statute applies to the authorization of the Democrat chair to put applicants on the ballot or candidates on the ballot.
And when was that,
Hey,
last?
Tom, can you speak into the
Sure.
microphone, please? People are having trouble hearing you.
Okay, and when, according to their last meeting, when was the deadline for that? Was that in May of 2026?
That was actually May of 2025 in their last county committee meeting, and they filed the minutes. They gave the Democratic chair authority to add candidates to the ballot. According to Indiana Code 3-13-1-6.5, that expired at the precinct committeeman's election, which would have been May of this year.
Okay. And then does Indiana Code 313-2-8 subsection C provide for a 3-day filing deadline to complete for filing of vacancies?
Yes.
And was that adhered to by these candidates?
No.
And finally, does your understanding of Indiana Code 313-1-14 subsection 1 indicate that the failure to properly file these documents indicates that the candidacy is voided so that it cannot be, the mistakes that in filing cannot be corrected? Is that correct? Is that your understanding?
That's my understanding.
If I could approach the board, I have just a news story from another county where the similar facts occurred and what the outcome was. Just like to share it with the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My final question, Ms. Horvath, is do you know of any exceptions to the state laws that we cited that would allow a candidacy to proceed after failure to file these necessary documents?
I do not.
Thank you. We don't have any further questions. We just ask the board to review the applicable case law and declare that these candidacies are ineligible and not allowed to be on the ballot.
Any members have a question for Ms. Horvath or her attorney? I see none.
Thank you.
Wait.
O-
I have two small questions of the witness.
Okay?
Ms. Horvath, if your objections to these 5 candidates are sustained.
Sir, can you state your name, please, for the
Oh,
record?
I'm sorry. James Groves, I'm the attorney for the candidates.
Thank you, Jim.
If those objections are sustained, would you agree that if those candidates cannot be placed on the ballot, then the Republican candidates for those positions would win the election by default?
Not necessarily. In the case of Autumn Kaler, I guess there wouldn't be a candidate for that, but a couple of other ones, there's other candidates as well for board positions, New Carlisle position.
Well, to oppose a candidate being on the ballot would mean, if it's successful, that candidate would not be allowed to be on the ballot. Am I correct?
Oh, yes, you're correct.
Okay. And wouldn't you agree that in terms of, for the general population, that it would be better for the general population to have a choice rather than to have only one person on the ballot?
Let me object to that, just pro forma.
Thank,
I just want to object. I'm not going to tell her not to answer, but I'm going to object because that calls for speculation, but that's sort of a legal thing that attorneys do. Answer that as best as you can.
Yeah, I'm just here to say that they didn't file the correct papers
That's not
to,
my question.
be a candidate.
That isn't my question.
thank you, sir. She has answered your question.
All right. That's all I have.
Do the board have any questions for Ms. Horvath or her attorney?
No.
Seeing none, we will proceed.
Once again, my name is James Groves. I'm representing the 5 candidates. My address is 55721 Country Club Road, South Bend, Indiana. And I would try to make the board's job easy today. Yes, we failed to file the CAN 31s. From a technical standpoint, the board probably should, as the statute uses the word shall, should sustain the objection. But I want to be clear that we will then be calling a caucus once those vacancies are there because of the sustaining of the objections, we will then call a caucus to nominate people to fill those ballots. Once again, my question to the Republican Party representative was, we are intent upon giving the general public a choice. If we go forward to the general election without a Democrat candidate or a Libertarian candidate to fill these vacancies, then I guess we're kind of like Russia with only one choice for the general public to vote. So with that, that is about all we've got to present today. Do you have any questions?
Yes, my question is, the thing is, when we say you don't have a candidate to vote, the state gives plenty of candidates, anybody to run, whether you're independent, Republican, or Democrat. That's why we have a primary system. And they did not run in the primary system. So people have had the opportunity to run for these positions and do have an opportunity to run for the positions. But they also set forth laws and forms. Well, as we can all say, sometimes the forms are crazy and the rules are set forth, but our state legislature has set the laws forth. So to say that we're denying access for somebody to run for that position, I don't agree with.
Well, I appreciate your disagreement, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
However, as it stands, if we do nothing after your sustaining of the objection, then those vacancies will not be on they will not be on the ballot. There will be no choice in the general election. Am I correct?
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the comments?
I have 1 minute, right?
3.
Probably won't take that long. I only have a few comments in response to that. First of all, I think this is something that will be taken up later. If the Democrats attempt a new caucus at this late date, I believe that it's going to be prohibited by the other applicable laws, but that will be something that will come up since it's not ripe right now. And I will remind this board, although I think the only people who were present when this happened are Ms. Riskovitz and the folks over here, that it was the Democrats who challenged the candidacy of Bruce Mitchell in the primary a few years ago to not be able to run against Sheila Nitskoski. So I think it's a little disingenuous for them to come up and challenge, to oppose the challenge based on it being heavy-handed Russian tactics. Thank you.
Any comments, questions? Your rebuttal, if any?
One second, Mr. Chairman.
No problem.
Only to clarify the record.
Thank
the-
you.
The Democratic Party did not challenge that candidate. That challenge was filed by an individual.
Thank you.
You bet.
Any questions before he sits down?
No.
Any comments at all?
No comment.
I will make the motion that Jackie Horvath's challenges are, go through the
I would
candidates.
like to move to amend that.
Okay.
In that I would like to move to reject the filings as is because they were improperly filed, but allow the candidates time to amend them.
I don't agree with the amendment due to the fact we have laws.
Vote on it, the amendment?
My first amendment?
My amendment to your motion.
Yes.
Okay.
So, do you want to vote on the amendment we're going to vote on? I want to make sure I understand you completely.
Absolutely.
So you want us to vote on your amendment to my motion?
Yes.
Okay. So I vote no on the amendment of the motion.
And
Motion denied. To amendment to that motion. My motion is still on the floor. I need a second.
second.
All those in favor of denying, of accepting the challenge?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Carries. Due to that, the second challenge does not need to be carried through because as of right now, she's not on the ballot for, I'm sorry, Christy Donlin. So that will not be seen here today. Thank you.
Just confirm for the record, Mr. Chairman, the challenges were sustained?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
And
sorry, I kind of mumbled my words.
It's quite all right. And
Did every-
the record will reflect challenges all sustained, at least the ones that were voted on, but to all of the candidates as of August 21st for statutory purposes.
Thank you. We're going to move on. Sorry.
I just wanted to make some clarifications procedurally. I think Ms. Engels made an amendment, and it wasn't officially seconded, but it seems like it was by your response to it and voting on it. I just think the record should reflect that she made the amendment, that it was seconded for voting purposes, and then it was voted on. And secondly, the board did indicate that the candidates themselves would be given an opportunity to speak. I think that they should be allowed to do that.
Yeah, I think the candidates can speak. I'll give you 2 minutes to speak, but when you should have came up with your legal representative because he said he was covering you as your legal representative on the case. Okay? So if the candidates are here, you will have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Dan Caruso, 305 Compton Street, New Carlisle, candidate for New Carlisle Town Council. This whole process seems, everybody says, no wonder people say, man, I hate politics. What is so hard to understand and what is so mistakenly I have what the Democratic Party did here was to give the party chair authorization to fill vacancies on the ballot for the party. That was done. The vacancies were filled by myself and Marcy Kaufman. Then you charge, well, you had 72 hours to, after the caucus to file this Can 31. We did not hold a caucus. We were appointed, we bypassed the caucus. There was no group input on, okay, which ones do we want on the ballot? There were only 2 of us who applied for the position in the Democratic Party, only 1. And by the way, if you run this through, we still have an open seat on the board. There are 2 open seats on that board. Why do you make rocket science out of this? We need 2 people on that council. Our party chair was given the authority to determine which 2 would come on from our party. And then you come up with this Can 31 argument saying, oh, you had 72 hours after the caucus. We didn't hold a caucus. We went right to our party chair saying, here's the people that are going to appear on the ballot. Why do you make rocket science out of this? I don't get it. Thank you.
Thank you. We all know we have state laws and state legislatures that write these laws that we need to follow. So that would be my comment. If anybody else has a comment on the board? Yep, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name's Christy Donlin, 133 Friendship Lane in Walkerton. And I just wanted to say, as somebody who's new to becoming a candidate, I came to this very building, this very floor, and I sat down and I walked through all the paperwork that needed filed, and I asked the question, is this all that I need? And the answer was yes. It was never stated that, hey, this extra form needs to be turned in on your behalf. So it's really disappointing that something like this would get me off of in giving Walkerton a choice.
Thank you. I always refer back to, if you want to run for office, you have to do your homework on what forms and stuff. That is the candidate's responsibility, not anyone in the clerk's office, not anyone else. Any other comments from the board? Any other comments on the trial? We're moving on. As soon as I find my papers. New business. Anybody else have new business on the board? Probably not. My new business is, we're going to be working on a regular meeting schedule. So people will know in advance when we're going to have meetings. We're going to work on getting at least one meeting a month and try to get a regular schedule. I think that will make it easier for both sides to air problems, grievances, and it also gives our board a chance to get together and discuss more regularly some of the issues of the elections. So that is one of the new businesses. So is there any other new business? All right, moving right along. Oh, huh? That's old business. I'm going to bring the old business. My key is going to be returned from Mercedes to me, and I will appoint somebody else in the office up here. I will still have my master key. I know Jason has his, and we are going to run that same schedule or get a schedule that at our other board meeting that we decided that we're going to have that vault opening schedule again this year. So whoever Jason decides to have his key, or if he decides it'll be a schedule on that on the vault opening, that it'll be at a timely basis, and if something comes up as needed, then they can call me or Jason or the person that has our key. But the key was an issue. I just want to let you know, Mercedes has changed positions here, so I will be taking that key back. Any other old business? All right, moving along. Public comment. Under public comment, just remember your name and address, and this is questions and not a question and answer session. So please state your name and address.
Dan Caruso, still at 305 Compton Street, New Carlisle. And I will be for the rest of my life at 305 Compton Street, New Carlisle.
Thank you.
If you think I am going away and fighting these developments that certain people are pushing onto our area, it's not happening. This motivates me even more to change our style of government in town, to change us from a council control to a mayoral control with an advisory council. I'll get this thing turned over. You are not, if you were doing this with a motive of bringing development, more development into our area, you have seriously mistaken my abilities. I will turn this whole thing over, and we will have a type of governance in that town that will tell the county to leave us alone. We have a mayor. We'll make the decisions on what comes in there. We won't need a representative with the county, and anybody can come in to the board right now. We've still got another open seat, but I'm guaranteeing here today, we will be a mayoral governance before much longer, and we'll elect a mayor, and we'll tell the county to stay out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike McManus, 51940 Lilac Road. This is the most disgusting hearing I've seen in all the times that I've been coming to hearings. This is what they do in communist Russia, and this is not democracy. The whole thing was flawed. First of all, the witness that spoke was not properly identified as an expert witness. She was talking about legal issues. She is not a lawyer. She makes towers. She has no specific knowledge of the law and therefore should not have been allowed to speak. Therefore, there was no case properly presented. Second, this has happened before. 4 years ago, the then Republican member of the election board, along with other Republican politicians, including Carl Baxmeyer, the commissioner, from the dais, made up false resolutions, lied, engaged in conflicts of interest, used county property obtained improperly from the then Republican County Council to use made-up, manufactured commercials that were altered and aired. There was nothing but a gross conspiracy of lies, manipulation, and cheating. This will tell the entire community that Republicans think they can only win by cheating. When the chairman of this Republican Party came forward to challenge, she seems to have forgotten that
Thank you.
somebody she didn't like from her own party, she challenged.
Thank you.
And this election board rejected her challenge. And your behavior at cutting off the witness and after having allowed the candidates to speak was grossly in error.
Thank you.
This is a circus and a farce.
Thank you.
Good morning, Deborah Durrell, 21677 Auten Road, South Bend. This is the first one of these I've been to, and I am concerned about the procedures that I've seen that seem pretty irregular and spontaneous compared to the other county meetings. But one thing that I am particularly concerned about, and the reason I'm up here right now, is because we heard that the Democratic Party was going to let these challenges go through unobstructed because of a strategy to be able to refile in a few days. That was not presented here to the board. It was not addressed or on the record. And since we have so many issues already being debated about what was supposed to happen when, by who filled out the forms, who gave what information, I feel that there is a question that this additional strategy about refiling is not going to stand. I think it's important to get that on the record. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Pam Clays, 1106 Bellevue Avenue, South Bend, Indiana. I wasn't going to speak, but the choices that you made, I don't agree with. There's a candidate that thought they filled everything out. In the past, this would have been allowed to continue. Your rules, you're not God. People have already gotten all their campaigns. They thought they did the right thing, and you're kicking them off, and I don't agree with that. I think there needs to be a little fail-safe measure in there, and you are taking your duties over the top to favor Republicans. Thank you.
Not seeing, oh, I'm sorry. Elaine. Aileen, I'm sorry, I said it wrong.
Sorry. Don Westerhausen, 52346 Spring Arbor Court, Ranger, Indiana. I'm the chair of the St. Joseph County Democratic Party. I just want to say that our first-time candidates asked if their paperwork was in order, and various deputy clerks assured them that it was. Democrats believe in democracy and allowing voters' choices. Obviously, the Republican Party does not. We will refile our candidates under state law, which we think will be legal and will be upheld. That's our plan. Thank you.
Pat Schaefer, 215 East Jennings Avenue in South Bend. This is a totally different subject, and I work absentee voting. And I was wondering if there's any way that there could be some more convenient parking for our people that work for a month. There is a parking lot right across the street that's basically empty that the city had used. And some of our workers are older, like me, and it's harder for them to have to walk 3, 4, 5 blocks. And they do have physical conditions, but they come every day. And I was just wondering if there's some way we could make an arrangement that we could just use whatever we need for the month with that lot across the street. I don't know if that's something that, I know the city used to use it, and I don't know if it's still city-owned or whatever, or if the county has now taken it over. But I was just wondering if there's something that could be done about that, so.
Ma'am,
Thank you.
excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, can you just specify where exactly you're referring to? You said across the street.
Right across the street between where,
On Lafayette.
Yeah, it's by,
right next door to the building that burned. That empty lot right across the street, downstairs.
Okay,
I think that's the commissioner's.
And the city used to use it.
okay. Yeah, I wrote that down. So, we all know parking in South Bend.
Oh, I know.
Is bad. Private lots, all that. So, yeah, especially with the fire, it's tough to get in the front of the building. Hopefully, they have the streets moved around. So,
Well, there
thank you.
is a way to get into
You're-
that lot from Franklin Court behind it. We don't have to go into it off of Main Street.
Your
So-
point is well taken.
Okay, I just
Thank you.
thought I'd ask. I didn't think it would hurt, but I didn't know.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Aileen Warren, 60870 Crumstown Highway, North Liberty, Indiana. So I'm actually going to make one comment with respect to the preceding interactions, I guess. It was, as a resident and a voter, it's very disturbing to see the level of partisanship that occurred here today. The election board, from my perspective, should really be working for the residents of this county to ensure that they have legitimate options in any election, and to make sure that individuals, again, who are residents, can vote unimpeded, okay? So I'm going to speak to the second issue very quickly, since I know I'm time limited. There has been some discussion about reducing the number of vote centers in St. Joseph County. I want to remind you that St. Joe County already has the distinction of having the lowest turnout in the state of Indiana. There has been quite a bit of research, actually, on consolidation of voting centers, which I had the opportunity to take a look at. And what that research demonstrates is that consolidation reduces voter turnout by about 6%, okay? And what they found was even when you combine that with increased absentee or early vote options, it still decreases voter turnout, okay? Just the addition of drive time, a quarter of a mile, reduces turnout additionally by 2 to 5%. So when we talk about reducing the number of vote centers in the county, and I know that hasn't been discussed here yet, what you're really talking about is a disenfranchisement for individual voters. So residents of St. Joe County, in my experience, are still getting accustomed to vote centers. Some of them are not sure, even now, where they can vote. If you reduce the number of vote centers, people who have just become accustomed to voting at a particular location and have that lost will then be confused, and again, that will become a problem. It will also increase lines and wait times to vote, again, discouraging people. So, our goal should be to make voting as accessible and easy as possible. And I would venture to say that early vote in this county is not as accessible as it should be. There should be evening hours, okay? I worked out of this county for over 13, 14 years, and I could not use early vote because I worked west of here, okay? So, until the last, I know you're going to cut me off, but I'm going to squeeze it in anyway.
Okay.
Okay? So, so I'm just encouraging you to not implement any changes that will make it harder for people to vote. Instead, make St. Joe County a model of voter accessibility and ease of voting for everyone. Okay? So on that, perhaps we can agree. Thank you.
Thanks.
Recording stop. Recording in progress.
Pam Clays, I won't repeat my address, but I wanted to give you an idea for the parking. When we used to do whatever, there was an election car, little placard you could put in your car, you could park on the street, you don't need to worry about getting a ticket. We gotta let the South Bend know that. So why couldn't you do that?
We have those, but they don't let us use them.
Why not?
I don't know, ask them.
That's crazy. You guys are crazy. This is the worst board meeting I have had in my whole, I've been coming to these for 15 years.
Thank you.
I'm not going to say thank you to you.
All right.
No, she is correct about the thing to put in the window, though.
I still have mine in my glove box.
Yeah, I do too.
Thank you.
We could do that.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right, I make a motion, we adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
We're moved. We're adjourned. Thank you.